Hi everyone, my name is Allie and I'm with the Brookings County Youth Mentoring Program, also known as BCYMP. I am here today with Deidre Beck, and she is one of our longtime mentors, history of mentoring with us, and now does just amazing things for BCYMP. She helps out in many roles. And so I have her with me today, and she has agreed to share her mentoring story. And Deidre, if you want to go ahead and kick it off, though, with first a quick introduction of yourself, and then jump into what is your mentoring story.
Yeah, my name is Deidre Beck. I'm originally from Pierre, South Dakota. I graduated from SDSU in 2016 with a civil engineering and Spanish degrees. After that, I spent a year in Bolivia, and then when I got back, I got a job here in Brookings at Banner Associates as a wastewater engineer. Shortly after, I found BCYMP and started mentoring. I mentored for 2.5 years before my mentee moved out of the Brookings area, and we've sort of stayed in touch since. And I recently joined the board for BCYMP.
Yes, you have been a longtime supporter. And one of the things I just wanted to highlight on was your mentee has moved away. And so one of the things that we like to kind of just encourage is for others to step into young people's lives, whether that just be a neighbor or someone at church, and it's checking in with them and just being a person for a young person. Um, while we would love to have anyone, if you're listening, anyone that wants to mentor, join BCYMP and become a part of our organization, we still just really want to encourage that if there's a young person's life that you can step into and just be that one person for them, that you do so, even if it's not a formal mentoring relationship. So Deidre's is interesting because it kind of flowed from a formal relationship into an informal one that's kind of been continued. So that's really cool to see that the relationship is still there with the kiddo. So what was some of the activities that you really enjoyed with your mentee when you were meeting with her? And then how are you still staying connected now?
Yeah, so my mentee, when we started meeting, she was a sixth grader. So now she's in eighth grade. And we really enjoyed a lot of the arts programming in Brookings, going to the plays at SDSU, the Brookings High School plays, some of the community theater plays, doing art classes at the Art Council was one of our favorite things. And then also just looking at some of the other stuff going on around town. I personally requested an older mentee because I wanted to be able to have that relationship where we could do stuff that was a little bit more involved and have a little bit deeper discussions. And so that really worked out well with the middle school age group. And it actually, I think if there hadn't been for the pandemic, we probably wouldn't have been able to stay in touch as well as we have post her moving. But because of the pandemic, we were already doing a lot of online activities through Zoom. The Art Council did some Zoom art classes that we were participating in. And so then when she moved, we've still been meeting, not as often, but meeting and trying to do some of that and just catch up and um, trying to be creative with what you can do on Zoom.
I am so glad you mentioned two things. One being that our, and not just you, a lot of our mentors have kind of pivoted and they have embraced mentoring still, even with the pandemic. And that's so great to see that our mentors are still willing to step in and connect, however that might be. I know some have been sending snail mail just because their mentee doesn't have the best access to some virtual technology or apps or cell phones or anything like that. So some are doing snail mail, some are still able to stay connected in person here and there, and some have been able to embrace it a lot, like Zoom and doing online art classes like you mentioned. And yeah, the second one being that our partnership with the Brookings Art Council has just been great, especially for a lot of our kiddos that really enjoy the arts, and they have been able to take advantage of art classes. And I think this last Monday, we were able to do a Zoom art class, and I think we had almost, I want to say it was like 8 mentees sign up, and so that was great to see that they're still able to, enjoy the arts even in pandemic time, and even though it might be over Zoom, they seem to really love it and enjoy the opportunity. So it's great when
Yeah.
we can partner with other organizations. Anything else you'd like to kind of add or touch on about your mentoring experience?
Just has been a really great experience. I feel like I got just as much out of it as she did. Really gives you a better view of the community. Being someone who doesn't have kids myself in the school system, it was a way, we went to some high school games, high school plays, kind of get more involved in the community in a way that you might not otherwise. And I think that's really, really valuable.
That's great. Yes, I love how much our mentors can get involved, and even so, young adults as well as our SDSU students that choose to mentor with us, they're able to kind of see a different side of the community maybe. So it's great how much mentoring can be a benefit for our mentors as well as our mentees. So one final question for you I've been asking everyone. Fill in the blank for me. Mentoring amplifies what?
I would say community.
I would agree. Mentoring amplifies community. That's fantastic. Yes, our community has definitely been a great supporter of BCYMP and the mentoring program, as well as just bringing everyone together. And it's definitely, we kind of have our own little family with our mentors and mentees. And so it brings, and it hopefully is going to do great things for the future generations, and thinking long term, thinking futuristic. And so we'll see some great things coming out of our program, hopefully with our kids that are involved with us. So thank you so much, Deidre, for speaking with me today. And any last final thoughts? Otherwise, I'm going to kind of wrap things up here.
I think I'm good. Thanks for having me, Allie.
Thank you so much. So if you're listening and you want to learn more about the Brookings County Youth Mentoring Program, I would love to have a conversation with you. If you want to reach out to us here on Facebook or any of our social media platforms, otherwise check out our website. It was recently updated and has some great information, frequently asked questions. Our application is on there. So I encourage you to reach out to us and let us know you're interested. We'd love to talk to you about mentoring, and I hope you have a great day.